Spent 30 minutes on this game's final boss. An entire 30 minutes. If you guys didn't know, I'm making a series in which I will play every Sonic game in chronological order and streaming the whole thing on YouTube. I played Sonic 2, released for the Sega Genesis in 1922, and after this one is Sonic CD. I know that in Sonic Origins it comes after Sonic 1, but that's just when I decided to play it. I will be ranking the music on the end, so stay tuned for my thoughts on it. Emerald Hill Zone, while probably being inspired by Green Hill Zones, I still liked the zone for the same reasons. It's a classic that isn't ever really boring for me. In this game, I liked how you could actually go fast, especially here in Chemical Plant Zone. They have these long areas that you can just roll fast on. And oh my gosh, this specific area of Chemical Plant Zone Act 2, I died so much. Generally though, I did like Chemical Plant Zone. After that, I got to Aquatic Ruin Zone. The one thing I like about Aquatic Ruin Zone, and this game in general, is that water isn't required like in Labyrinth Zone. It's a punishment for a lower path, which makes it completely optional. Of course, I went to the lower path every time, but you know, that's just me being bad. After that, we got to the Gambling Zone, Casino Night Zone. Here you can actually gamble your rings, but I chose not to. Also, it's set at nighttime, which you know from the previous video that I love because it's more chill. Next, we get to Hilltop Zone. In Hilltop Zone, I was just running through caves and jumping across hilltops. Overall, mediocre zone for me. Then I crossed the hills and went to the caves. Mystic Cave Zone was one that I liked. It's just a vibe. The monster placements were a bit annoying, but not as much as some of the later levels. One thing I liked here was that I thought was cool was the vine art that's across some of the level. Then I went to Oil Ocean Zone. Like, who has all this oil? Where did they get it? Because this is certainly something the US would love to capitalize on. On a serious note, I thought the level design was a bit confusing here with the oil slide thingies and the elevator things. Maybe that's just me, but that's how I felt. Next, we got to Metropolis Zone. It's the only zone with 3 acts, and it's 3 acts of pure torture. There are so many enemies placed absolutely everywhere. There are enemies placed right at the edge, and they know it. There are also these annoying starfish enemies that just explode and send out some spike things everywhere that make it annoying to avoid. After that, Sonic somehow got from Metropolis Zone to literally in the sky with Tails in Sky Chase Zone. Here, the music was nice and chill, and I just felt like relaxing here since there wasn't that much to do but wait for Tails and maybe bop some enemies on the head. Next, Tails got to Wing Fortress Zone. This is just navigating a large flying battleship, which had some tricky jumps for me that I eventually got over. A bit confusing level design for me, but I learned how to get around it eventually. And oh my gosh, the final boss. Like I said at the beginning, I spent so long on this. It was pain for 30 minutes. I did eventually learn where to hit and how. The trick is to only hit right after the boss lands. But, I literally spent an entire 30 minutes because if you make one mistake, it sends you all the way back to the beginning, and you just have to know where to hit. But I did learn. And after you beat the boss, you get this really sweet cutscene where it shows Tails seeing the Death Egg falling, I think, and then flying up in the airplane to save Sonic. I really liked it because it makes it way more of a story than the previous game that didn't really have much of an ending besides the credits. Now for the music, I actually liked it more. I think that Masato Nakamura, who made the music, really perfected it here. It's so nice to hear the soundtrack, and it fits all of the levels. So I'm gonna give it a solid 8 out of 10 because I do think it's better. And that's it. Make sure to subscribe to see my Sonic CD video and stream. What's your favorite thing about Sonic 2?